Big Boss Calvin 83 here. This is a response to Bill Greathouse. He's not being so great right now. First off, let's clear something up, Bill. I've been back in town for like the last couple of days. Came back from Philadelphia. I told you, I was going to go away and come back. We can still talk if you want, but you need to hear me out. The only reason why I'm making a response to your video like this, so you can actually take it in, understand where I'm coming from, and then we can talk things out if you want to. But I'm not going to force you. First off, you keep saying, I don't know why you and Warren keep saying that I have issues. First, that I had an issue being seen with a Caucasian man. That is stupid as hell, and that's an ignorant statement. I had mostly Caucasian friends at one point in my life, growing up, when I was living in New Jersey. Most of my friends were Caucasian. Okay? So I was seen with Caucasian people, and then you had other ethnic groups. So basically, I was like 4% of the black males of my school, of my high school that I went to. So I had no issue being seen with anybody. The only reason why I wasn't able to see you in person, I actually wanted to see you in person, is because of the fact that my schedule, since I was working in Florida, I was working from over 45 to 60 hours a week. And plus, I didn't have a car at the time. So, that's the reason I wasn't able. Plus, I was very busy. I wasn't able to get things organized because I had very little time off. Like I said before, when you're working 50 to 60 hours a week, and plus you got schoolwork on top of that, things can get difficult. First of all, this video, your video, is very ignorant. First of all, quit telling black people that slavery was before their time and they need to get over it. It had no effect on them. Slavery in the past, and Jim Crow does have an effect on so-called black people. The way we are treated, and the way we are treated, and the way Caucasian people and other groups like yourself see me, people, my skin color, is the reason why we're getting killed, the reason why we're getting profiled, the reason why we're victims of racial discrimination and injustice. You can say you had nothing to do with slavery and Jim Crow, but your ancestors did. Even if your ancestors were never part of that region of being European descent, you're still reaping the benefits of Caucasian supremacy. One thing you need to look up. You claim you look up stuff, but you never looked up Caucasian supremacy and how it works. Because a lot of Caucasian people don't have to worry about being victims of racism. They can be colorblind and say they love everybody, but you don't have to worry about that because nobody's out to get you like they are out to get me. You don't tell Jewish people that the Holocaust was before their time and they need to get over it. It has no effect on them. They need to stop complaining. They need to pull themselves by the fucking bootstraps. First of all, you don't say that. Before I even go any further, you don't say that shit to the Jews, so don't say that shit to us. That's a racist statement in itself. You're defending racism and justifying it. And you are the beneficiary of white supremacy and racism. You understand? I got a page of notes. I never blamed anybody for my fucking problems. What the hell are you talking about? There you go, assuming again. But you people love to justify white privilege and your racism and Caucasian supremacy for your benefits. You are reaping the benefits of what my ancestors have done, and you're reaping the benefits of what your evil forefathers and mothers have done to my people, and not just in the past, but in the currently. You say, first of all, you say that that's the you're right. This is division, but I'm not causing it. I'm just reacting to the injustice and the way I've been treated. Yes, you're right. I do have personal issues. Yes, I understand that. I don't hate you. I don't hate Caucasian people. I don't hate women. But I'm just angry at the way I've been treated throughout the last 20 years of my life. There's a lot of personal shit that I've endured and gone through, and currently going in and dealing with right now. So that's why I'm angry and hostile. I come here to vent. That's the reason. And I think most of the time I need to start making videos of me being positive. I can work on that. Now I'm just gonna go in order by these page notes. Yes, there are some so-called black people calling for the death of Caucasian people. But guess what? There's Caucasian people calling for the death of people of color. And guess what? Who's doing the killing? Caucasian people are killing black people. Okay? You got some black people calling for the death of Caucasian people, not because they just want to kill Caucasian people for the hell of it. No, what they're talking about is tackling Caucasian supremacy and the Caucasian power structure. But you're not going to understand that because you never looked into that aspect. You understand? You need to look into racism, really, and Caucasian supremacy and how it works. Maybe you should join the conscious community. Black Lives, I never said I agree with Black Lives Matter, but I understand why the movement exists. I don't agree with most movements because even with the so-called TFL movement. Because this is what happens when people get together. They see things eye to eye, but when they get to know each other a long time, they sometimes get sick of each other. And I think that's what's happening. And plus, people got different viewpoints, and then people want to. I'm not that type of person, but there's people who want to have their own agenda, and some people don't see eye to eye on certain things, and that's the problem with you and I. We don't see the eye and eye on certain things. I'm not playing no fucking card. I don't know what you mean by playing the race card. What fucking card? An invisible illusional concept that you people made up? That's nothing cold to say suffering in silence. It's like Caucasian people want to be racist, and then when you call them out on it, then you're saying you're playing the card. But you don't tell women they're playing the woman card when you Caucasian males, I should say, don't call women on their bullshit when they're playing the woman card to get ahead. You don't accuse Jewish people when they accuse anybody. If you don't agree with a Jewish person, they'll call you anti-Semitic. They'll play the anti-Semitic card to get what they fucking want. Everybody else can play the fucking card and get ahead, but black people can't. You understand? That's another call for shut the fuck up and suffer in silence, niggers, and take what we're giving to you and just suck it up. I'm not sucking shit up. I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm a man. I don't take shit. George Zimmerman, you're right. George Zimmerman was a half Caucasian and half Latino. Basically half Jewish, half Peruvian. He was chaired, but when he killed Trayvon Martin, you can believe if it's real or not. That's your opinion. But they made George Zimmerman an honorary Caucasian man. What group of people did that? Caucasian people celebrating. And yeah, you had a bunch of handkerchief head coons and Negropean motherfuckers agreeing with the verdict because they wanted to fit in with society, with the white society. because they want to keep their fucking job. There's no such thing as black privilege. I don't know what... That is funny. When I said black people cannot be racist, you don't understand systematic racism. You say, well, there's other groups of people who have jobs and all that stuff. The problem with you and other people, y'all think racism is overt. When I talk about systematic racism, I'm talking about, how do I explain this so you can actually fucking understand? Black people cannot be racist because, number one, like I said before in my previous video, one, you have to eradicate a group of people. Steal their land, steal their resources, colonize, rape and fucking pillage, maim, degrade, and marginalize a group of people. And disenfranchise them. Black people have not done that. Even though you said, well, there's some black slave masters that's a select few. We're talking about the majority here of Caucasian people doing criminal things with slavery and Jim Crow. But I forgot. Oh, I gotta forget about the fucking past. Even though the reason why black people are in the situation that they're in is because of their fucking past. You don't tell Jewish people to get over their fucking past. You never tell Jewish people, well, it was before their time. Last time I checked, Jewish people got reparations. Japanese people got reparations. Native Americans got reparations. And other Caucasian people got reparations for injustice. But we never got... Why don't you look up reparation statistics? On how everybody got restitution. And Asian people definitely got reparations. That's how they were able to prosper. They didn't prosper from hard fucking work. What the hell are you talking about? Everybody works hard. If you don't work hard, you're not going to make it. Everybody works fucking hard. But the question is, if you are going to qualify, let me say this, hard work does not guarantee you're going to be successful in life. You're not going to be successful right away working hard. It's about working smart. But if you're given opportunity, certain operations get they got reparations, certain opportunities, plus they stick together and work together and respect each other. But you don't call them a reverse racist. When black people work together and stick together and demand equal treatment and fairness and justice, and not be judged by the color of their skin, apply for certain opportunities, grants, loans to be independent, or they want to start their own shit, we get denied. Whatever you say it's because of work history and criminal record. Well, last time on Newsflash, motherfucker, it don't fucking matter. Because I've seen Caucasian people who had felonies, who had poor work history, got the fucking loan over a so-called black person who had a perfect record, had a good work history, and they still got denied. So that's why I say white privilege exists. Now, and I'll say number two, you have to have wealth and power and influence to inflict racism on other people and get by with it. Until black people control the government, own the police department, own the banks, corporations, which is the majority in America are owned by Caucasian people. Let's stick with America. I'm not talking about, you went over talking about what other people, well, in Africa, there's not a lot of white people in Africa. Yes, there is. Because they're colonizing the fuck out of it and raping the shit out of Africa. Something you don't acknowledge. Until black people are in positions of power, and I'm not talking about a few tokens, I'm talking about 95%. And unifying. Until black people are in a position of power where they have wealth, power, influence, and control the police department, government, FBI, corporations, education system, banks, and be able to disenfranchise a group of people by charging them how much interest rate on their credit, whether they get denied credit or not, to have the ability to afford to deny them a loan or whatnot, decide who gets hired and who gets fired when it comes to jobs, and affect their and when it comes to redlining, to tell them where they can and cannot live, what school they can and cannot go to, and then when it comes to black people, especially if they're cops, until we have a majority of all black police force murdering Caucasian people at a higher rate and getting by with it and controlling the criminal justice system, then we cannot be racist like that. You're confusing. I'm talking about systematic racism. I'm not talking about prejudice. You getting called a cracker has not the same effect as being marginalized and being disenfranchised and being discriminated and being profiled and fucked over by the system. You're not going to get it. I understand that. That reverse rate. I mean, you didn't really answer my questions on reverse racism. Caucasian people control a lot of shit in this country and gain certain advantages, but you want to say, well, you can't, I'm not responsible for it. You are responsible for it because you are the beneficiaries. You're the benefactor. You are the beneficiary of it, whether you want to believe it or not. But we are actually, a matter of fact, we're all slaves because we pay fucking taxes. Black people are still seen as three-fifths of a human fucking being. But you have white denial, but you still have your white fucking denial and excuses. Black people gotta live by a different set of rules. You can't walk with your hands in your pockets. I've seen a lot of Caucasian kids walk with their hands in their fucking pockets in public, going in the mall. You know, nobody asks the associate, if you're walking in the store, last time I checked, the store associate don't accuse a Caucasian person stealing. Because I've been in stores when I've been followed, and they didn't ask me, can they help me? Ask me, well, what are you doing here? How long you been here? What do you want? Ask me all these questions when I just got there. But they don't do that to the Caucasian people. Especially Caucasian kids, and the majority of Caucasian people steal. The majority of Caucasian people commit the most crimes in America, but they get lighter sentences. Black people get, and there's a huge white on white crime epidemic going on, but you don't talk about white on white crime. You didn't mention that in your video. You didn't even show the statistics that I showed you, that I even sent to you in the description box of the video response that I made to you, Bill. You know, so-called black people are convicted harshly and given harsher prison sentences or even the death sentence compared to Caucasian people. Y'all get slaps on the wrist or y'all get by with it. I seen it with my own fucking eyes here. You did a lot of assuming. And you say there's some black people in positions of power. No. Well, who writes the check? No, not really. Because last time I checked, that was done by affirmative fucking action. They hired a select few handkerchief head, Negro pen, bootlicking, Stephen Fetch, Uncle Ruckus, Aunt your mama motherfuckers to work those jobs. If they hired somebody like me, who spoke truth to power, they would have a problem with it. I worked when you had to be careful. You can't talk about race issues. You can't talk about anything of so-called black power. But they can talk about white power all day. And you don't have to call it white power. I just know, no, it's just called Caucasian supremacy. It's just it's Caucasian. Y'all, I mean, one thing I give credit to Caucasian people, y'all stick the fuck together. Y'all stick together. Y'all can stick together, but we can't. I'm just gonna go off the list. You expect racism. You can't tell me what I experienced, just like I can't tell you what you experienced. More Caucasian people aren't on fucking welfare and they get public assistance than black people. Okay? Because y'all run the government. Y'all run the social programs. So y'all gonna get it. Caucasian women have benefited more from affirmative action compared to black people and other ethnicities. But you didn't say that in your video. You say there's black colleges advertised. You know why they're advertising black colleges, man? It's because because there's poor enrollment in those universities, colleges and universities. You got Caucasian universities known as your Yale, known as your Cornell, your University of Columbia. You got a lot of Caucasian universities who got a hell of a lot of funding and support. So-called black colleges do not get that. And the only reason why they advertise it to black kids because it's not because of racism. Give me a goddamn break. It's because so many of us, so many people like me, are trying to go to the Caucasian universities, and more times than not we get turned the fuck away because we don't qualify. So that's why they suggest an alternative of us being in black colleges. I'm not giving no cop out here. I'm just speaking facts and from my observation. It's called experience, life experience. You talk when I said, well, and like I said, when black people cannot be racist, who imposed segregation on people saying Caucasian people here, black people there, white people here, black people there. This is white only, and this is black only. You gotta give credit where credit is due. It was Caucasian people at the fucking top. When was the last time you seen Caucasian in the 60s? Caucasian people brutalized, beaten, and had fire hose drinks fired at them, cops killing them, and having dogs sicked on them as U.S. Caucasian people from black people. Never. When it came to sundown towns, if a black person was hanging in a Caucasian neighborhood at a certain time after 6 p.m., even during the day, he would get slaughtered and killed. How many white Emmett Tills do you see, Bill? If a white boy was whistling at a black woman, did he get beat to death and killed? No. But you're gonna probably look that up and you're gonna try to use the exception and make it part of the fucking rule. You really can't do that. I didn't say I'm with Black Lives Matter. I understand why the movement was created. I don't agree with everything they're doing, but I understand why we are angry. I understand why most black people are angry, like myself. We're blaming systematic racism and Caucasian supremacy. You saying we're not blaming the whole fucking group, but you're saying don't blame whitey. But I know a lot of Caucasian people who blame Mexicans, who blame Asians, especially blame black people more than one fucking time on their fucking problems and shortcomings. You have Caucasian people blaming black people all the time. I didn't get the job because they hired a black person. I was more qualified than that black person. I hate affirmative action. I overheard that shit. I didn't get in that school because a black person was ahead of me. But as Tim Wise would say, you say a black person beats you, that denied you employment, denied you an opportunity to go to that school, or get that grant and get that loan, or get public assistance, but you don't talk about the other millions of Caucasian people who beat you, who let me phrase my words, who got hired over you. You don't talk about Caucasian people, racist ones, don't talk about how another Caucasian person got hired over them and fucked them over. They don't say that. Or how they were able to get public assistance over that other Caucasian person, or how that another Caucasian person was able to get public assistance and help over another Caucasian person or get favoritism from the justice system. But y'all blame black people for your fucking failures and shortcomings when you're a white man. You get ahead, okay? I'm not saying I can't get ahead. I have to live by a different set of rules. You don't. I ain't playing no goddamn victim. So you can miss me with that fucking shaming language. First of all, there's white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime, Latino and Latino crime, and black on black crime. Because you know why? Crime is intraracial, not interracial. But the majority of people who get killed are murdered by Caucasian people. That's a fact. I'll email it to you, since you don't believe me. The reason why I don't focus on, believe it or not, I don't focus on skin color. But the reason why at the same time I have to, because I am judged based on the color of my fucking skin. You're not. You, in this so-called dominant white society that I live in, of course I have to be more conscious and aware of what I do compared to what you have to do. You're the right color. I'm not. That's a motherfucking fact. You said when For Lost Souls attacked me, I don't know what, he has issues of his own, but I understand where the brother's coming from. I understand where Angel's Nut is coming from. Tariq Everard is coming from. That's his real name. I understand where these brothers are coming from. I can relate and agree with some of the things they said because it's spot on. You know what I'm saying? Now, when For Lost Souls, we don't, first of all, you assume because they're black and I'm black that we agree with everything and we're gonna stick together like we're gonna stick together and agree on everything and work together that easily. No, that's not the case. You got infighting in every other group. Just like just like Caucasian people stick together, but at the same time, there's infighting to a certain degree. Not everybody's gonna, just because everybody agrees on the same thing, that doesn't mean everybody's gonna get along. That's just how it is. You have allowed Warren Bullock to manipulate you with that bullshit. Oh, he never, because when he got into it with his racist ass debating with For Lost Souls, he wants to play the victim. When For Lost Souls attacks you, first of all, I want to say it on the record, for what For Lost Souls did to you was wrong. He should never asked anything from your ass and then attacked you on the fucking video and bash you. That was wrong. But for when For Lost Souls had a debate with you about that argument with that brother and that Caucasian guy, older Caucasian guy, getting that fight in Oakland, on a bus in Oakland, California, you said, oh, the girl was playing the race card. For Lost Souls checked you on your ass and told you she wasn't. No, that Caucasian, that old Caucasian guy was a racist when he attacked that African American guy. Provoked him, and then the black man reacts and attacks him, and then he gets beat up by the Caucasian guy. First of all, that brother should have never, when that Caucasian guy who was a racist asshole walked away from him, he should have let it go. He shouldn't have let no fucking kid egg him on to do something that can hurt him and get him killed. For Lost Souls was talking about that. And then when For Lost Souls was talking about reparations, he was right. Everybody got theirs. How come we can't? How come my people can't get theirs? Did you know Barack Obama wants to give reparations to Jewish people, even though the Jewish people already got their shit? He gave Native Americans reparations. He gave everybody else everything except for black people. But no. But you say it's a long time ago. But why don't you tell the Jewish people that it was a long time ago? The Holocaust was a long time ago. You need to get over it. It has no effect on you. You don't know. You can't say that shit. Well, you can't say what has an effect on somebody and what doesn't. That's racism, and that's a racist statement. You know what I'm saying? For America to give the Jewish people reparations when America did not put the Jewish people in ovens, did not slaughter them, and did not put them in concentration camps. Y'all give the Japanese, in the 90s, the Japanese got their reparations when they were in concentration camps because of the bullshit that happened with Pearl Harbor. The Jewish people got their reparations. I think the Mexicans got their reparations. And the Native Americans got the reparations. But when it comes to black folks with slavery and Jim Crow, when this country has gotten wealth and power, and y'all got prestige and privilege over us, we don't get nothing. Because they were not alive. Let me tell you something. That doesn't fucking matter. You know why? Because everybody had kids. You are the surviving descendant of a slave master. And I'm the surviving descendant of a slave, being a victim of a slave. The slavery between so-called blacks and whites is not the fucking same. The majority of Caucasian people did the most of the slavery and the colonization, telling people of color that all people of color to hate themselves. You say you don't see color, but I don't believe you. You say all lives matter, but when black people were treated bad or discriminated against and racially profiled and victims of injustice, you're silent. And I'm not just talking to Bill. I'm talking to all you motherfuckers who wanna. All lives matter is nothing more. There's nothing more for Caucasian people and give cover to Caucasian people, especially these Caucasian supremacists, gays, and feminists. The reason why black people created Black Lives Matter is the reaction to the injustice of the way we've been mistreated by this country. And this is nothing new. This has always been happening. It's just you got cameras now. But back on the subject, I had no problem seeing you. I have no problems being seen with a Caucasian guy. I mean, if you looked at my Facebook profile, I'm pretty sure you would see me with a lot of different people of different ethnicities. When For All Souls attacked you, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't get his side of the story because he refused to tell me his side of the story of what happened. You told your side of the story, but I didn't get the other side of the story of his side. And when I said that the good Caucasian people need to check the racist ones, I was correct. Yeah, there's bad black people. First of all, don't worry about what we're doing in our own fucking backyard. Black and black crime has no effect on you, so you're not a victim of it, so you shouldn't worry about it. That's like me worrying about white on white crime. That's like me worrying about 9/11. 9/11 had no effect on me. Y'all cry, y'all tell everybody else to get over. You're so dismissive of black people's pains and sufferings. Get over 9/11. Get over slavery. Get over Jim Crow. But don't forget 9/11. Don't forget about the American Revolution. Don't forget about the Pearl Harbor. Don't forget about the Holocaust. Don't forget about the Alamo. Yes, you people, you skin monkeys, are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. I mean, there's nothing more to say. You showed a select few examples of black people doing questionable things, and a few of them got a light sentence, but they were arrested though. I've been in situations where Caucasian people have laid their hands on other black people, and they got off. They got off scot-free. I've been a victim of bullying and abuse from Caucasian people, but other groups as well. So I have a right to be angry. You can't tell me how to fucking feel. That's like telling a woman who's been raped by a fucking man she needs to get over it and you can't blame society for your shortcomings because you are a victim of rape. That's wrong. That's very insensitive and very ignorant. But only Caucasian people can bitch and cry about their fucking pain and suffering. But I can't. But one thing I do agree with you, Bill, that yeah, I do have issues. I suffer from fucking depression. I suffer from post-traumatic stress. I suffer from post-traumatic. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD. You know, you're not guy. You don't have a clean record yourself. I mean, when you had your issues with Steve Holker, it didn't end well with you with Steve Holker. It didn't end when you had your issues with Robert. It didn't end, you have a tendency to judge other people, but you don't want to judge yourself. I judge myself, and I'm very critical of myself all the damn time. You had if you're such a good guy, Bill, why are so many people don't want to be associated with you? Why are you siding with Warren Bullock, who wants to judge everybody, but he's the coward that left the fucking movement because he had his own agenda? You know, because you know what? Let me tell you what he told me. You said you got, first of all, this is my fucking channel. I will talk about whatever I want to fucking talk about. Whatever information and knowledge that is offered to me and presented to me, I'll look it up. And I have looked it up. But just because it's not to your standard, that doesn't mean I'm a sheep. But Warren Bullock has a problem with judging people and being critical of others, but he has never done a YouTube video. He's never showed his face. You don't even know what the guy looks like. You probably do, but I don't. Currently. He left the TFL movement because he didn't want to get caught with bad company. Because he wanted to keep his little job and whatever. You don't even know the guy's a plant. You might be a plant, but I doubt it. And you know damn well I ain't no plant. All I can say, Bill, you are stop being so racist and dismissive of other people's pain, especially black people. Stop telling us how to act, how we gotta conduct ourselves when you don't even check your own people and how they behave. Like I said, I'm still willing to talk to you, but my patience is running thin. But if you're going to have white denial, you're going to be dismissive and deflect and make excuses. I'm not making no excuses of nothing. I'm just going by what I experience and what I currently know. But you ain't a saint. I do have issues. I'm very angry right now, and I'm very mad as hell. But I don't blame the whole race. I blame a certain group of people who done me wrong. I never said all Caucasian people are bad. What the hell are you talking about? But I've seen Caucasian people say all black people are bad, all black people are thugs and criminals, when they are the original criminals and gangsters and thugs. It's your police department, it's your government, it's your elite. No lives matter. No lives fucking matter. We don't fucking matter. And you're right. If we can't come to a common ground and agree to disagree, there's no point of talking to each other. All I want to say is this, man. I'm really done with this shit. Okay, this internet thing is getting old. I'm tired of being being picked on. I'm tired of being attacked by my skin color, judged by my weight, and people assuming from me like you did. What I'm gonna do, we're just gonna have to go our separate ways for a while until we come to a common ground and come to a fair solution. You have a good fucking night, and everybody have a good day. Good night, peace.